Environmental toxics in high concentrations can be found in places where you least expect them. For example, you cannot see with the naked eye that fresh fish may contain toxic dioxin. Dioxins are a group of substances that are soluble in fat and hard to decompose. Some of them are among the most toxic substances we know of. Dioxins are formed in different types of incineration. In facilities like these, it is essential to monitor any emissions of dioxin.
To monitor the concentrations of dioxin is not only essential, it is also a legal requirement in many parts of the world. OPSIS DX100 dioxin sampler is a robust system based on reliable and proven techniques. With this system, it is easy to meet the legal requirements. It is not only simple to operate, but also easy to install.
Installing the DX100 is easy. One great feature of the system is that it can utilize sensors already installed at the facility, such as temperature, pressure and flue gas velocity. The main sampling unit, based on proven technology and with no moving parts, requires very little maintenance.
The DX100 has a sampling unit which is installed on the duct. The gas passes through the sorbent container where the dioxins are absorbed. The gas then passes through a gas conditioning unit that both cools the gas and removes the moisture. The gas continues to the control cabinet where the flow is measured and regulated. The sample gas flow is continuously controlled by a computer and all relevant flow data is logged.
The sampling period can range from hours up to 8 weeks. During this time, the system is completely automatic. Based on the isokinetic sampling method, the DX100 meets the requirements of the standard EN 1948.
Isokinetic sampling is a technique that samples at the same velocity as the gas flow in the duct. This is to ensure a representative sample. The gas velocity in the probe should be the same as the velocity in the duct. Everything should move at the same speed within a certain tolerance set by the standard.
OPSIS DX100 is a long-term sampler for emissions monitoring of dioxin. But it has further features. As an option, it can also sample carbon dioxide for fuel analysis. This can make the return on investment in an OPSIS DX100 happen very quickly.
The tax on carbon dioxide emissions can vary depending on if the fuel is of fossil origin or if it is of biogenetic origin. The type of carbon in the carbon dioxide of the flue gas reveals its origin. This is because the carbon in the carbon dioxide is the same carbon that the fuel contained. In fossil fuel, all of the carbon-14 has decayed a long time ago, so there is none left. In biofuel, that is, fuel with biogenetic origin, the relative carbon-14 content is roughly the same as in living organisms. The more carbon-14 in the sample relative to carbon-12, the more biofuel has been burnt.
When burning waste, it can be difficult to determine the proportions between fossil fuel and biofuel just from the fuel flow, making it difficult to tell which carbon dioxide tax to pay. The site may then have to pay a general tax, which could result in too high taxation for too much fossil fuel. Measuring the carbon-14 content in the flue gas gives the exact fuel mix. The site can then report the correct mix and cut its taxes.
In the DX100, the carbon dioxide sample is extracted using an actively controlled pump so that the sample flow is always proportional to the gas flow in the stack. The sample is then fed through a bubbler containing a solution that absorbs the carbon. After each sampling period, the carbon-containing solution is analyzed for the carbon-14 to carbon-12 isotopic ratio. This correlates to the amount of fossil fuel and biofuel burnt at the facility during the period.
OPSIS DX100 is the optimal starting point for emissions monitoring of dioxin and carbon dioxide. It meets the requirements of the standard EN 1948. It is based on proven technology. It is easy to install and use and can utilize existing sensors of auxiliary parameters. It is a cost-efficient system. And with the carbon dioxide sampling option, the emissions taxation can be reduced. Contact OPSIS for more information about the DX100 for monitoring of dioxin and carbon dioxide emissions.